So look, I'm not going to get into endorsements from any organization, including today the Teamsters. That is certainly something that the campaign could speak to. As you know, this is a president and a vice president that has fought hard for unions throughout their administration. This administration, in the past 3.5 years, he has been called the most pro-union president ever. The president is very proud to have that title, if you will. And let's not forget, he's brought American manufacturing back home, creating close to 800,000 manufacturing jobs, and by creating the first Made in America office. And so these are things that he's incredibly proud of, and he believes if the union labor built the middle class. You hear him say that all the time, and so. Can't speak to any sort of endorsements. That's for the campaign to speak to directly. But this is a president who has has put when it comes to union and bringing.
You've described the Fed's announcement today as a moment of progress, but just to put a finer point on it, does the president agree with the assessment of many that this cut essentially declares that the battle on inflation is won?
I mean, look, all we have to do is, I don't even have to look at or speak to what the Fed has done. I mean, the data shows, right? The fact is that we have seen inflation coming down. That is something that we have seen in the data that I continuously speak about from here, whether it's from me or my colleagues who join us in this room. And so it is obvious. It is obvious that we have seen interest rates have fallen, that inflation have fallen, and so. I'm going to let the Fed obviously speak to more specifics about their decision, their monetary decision. But we have seen inflation going down. I think that's important. That's important to the American people. That's important for families, for businesses. And so I think the progress being made at this time is critical. And we have said this was coming. I stated earlier that there was a time where folks were saying that we needed a recession. And this has proven through the president's economic policy and what he's been able to do that we didn't need to do that, right? We needed to make sure that we really focused on the needs of the American people.
And can I just get your reaction, the president's reaction to the Senate's move yesterday failing to advance the bill to protect IVF?
Look, I mean, the president, we put out a statement on that. I talked about it at the top just yesterday. It's shameful. It's shameful that I think more than 40 Republican senators decided not to give protections to IVF. And the reason that bill is even put on the floor for a vote is because of what Republicans did, the former president did in undoing Roe v. Wade with the Dobbs decision, because Republicans are blocking it or getting in the way.
The union also put out its internal polling that showed that there was a pretty wide margin of rank-and-file membership that supported former President Donald Trump. To what extent is that a referendum on the work of this administration?
Look, I'm not going to speak to their poll. I'm not going to speak to the rank and file. Look, it is. We're talking about a 2024, obviously, an election that is just a few weeks away. I can't speak to that. I can't speak to their decision to endorse, not endorse